TV. Let's get it, baby. We might. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go to war. Woo!
Game on the line in the fourth, running up and down the court. I kill him, I do it for sport. Crunch time, when it's crunch time, I'm always gonna put in the work. You just keep coming up short, but somebody gotta get hurt. Crunch time, when it's crunch time, ooh, it's all about us in the end now. I ain't out here making friends now. Hit them with a turnaround if they wanna see how it pans out. I'm just trying to be a champion, trying to leave behind a legacy. MVPs in the ambience, but they champ for me. I'm always gonna put in the work. I'm just trying to be a champion. I'm always gonna put in the work. MVPs in the ambience. I'm always gonna put in the work. I'm just trying to be a champion. I'm always gonna put in the work. MVP, but they I'm always gonna put in the work. I'm just trying to be a champion.
Brother, please let us know for last thoughts, our listeners live and on podcast.
All right, we know that I do joke quite often about my attempted escapes from the psych ward, but in all seriousness, the psych ward gang is seriously my idea of representing the military. Representing mental health in the military community. So if you happen to run into any type of mental health crisis or emergency, do not be ashamed nor afraid to dial 988, press option 1. Again, just as I had to do when I was in a moment of crisis, do not be ashamed nor afraid to dial the digits 988, then press option 1 if you find yourself in a similar mental health crisis.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is Sergeant WarDawg welcoming you to the WarDawg Trail podcast, episode 66. Now today I'm bringing you a Marine combat veteran who works in the film industry and also happens to be a Marine brother of mine that I served 3 tours in Iraq with. But before we get to him, let's discuss some sponsors and some announcements. First off, just yesterday, I was awarded a media pass to SHOT Show. And for those that don't know, SHOT Show is one of the biggest outdoor events held in the world for those in the shooting sports, military, law enforcement, or hunting. So I will have a press pass, a media pass, and I will be on the showroom floor interviewing people as well as showing the latest guns and hunting equipment. Now, for those that have an exhibit, all right, the range day is actually held the day before SHOT Show begins. I need a media invitation from anyone with an exhibit at the industry day at the range. Sergeant WarDawg TV will happily display your products, your outdoor goods to the rest of the world if you are willing to allow us to come to your range day experience and to film. All right, next. Peaceful Warriors. Peaceful Warriors is a group that takes veterans struggling with PTSD who might not have a mission and feel they have a mission or a purpose in life. And Peaceful Warriors takes them to volunteer around the world. Now, I will be joining Peaceful Warriors next March 2024 when they head to the Philippines to work on a school in a village just north of the Subic Bay. You can find out about them at peaceforwarriors.org. Next, my nonprofit, my Veterans Homeless War Camp, is now up. Camp Doghouse and campdoghouse.org is now officially up. You can find out about our camp, where we're located in Central Florida, and what we're looking to do to house homeless veterans. And finally, Sergeant WarDawg TV was awarded 2 international awards this year from the UK. The first came from Acquisition International magazine, where we were named Leading Veteran Welfare Outreach Nonprofit Organization for 2023. The second international award is also from a company based in the UK, and that is Corporate Livewire. And they named us Veteran Support Nonprofit Organization of the Year for 2023. Now, without further ado, I bring to you to the screen a Marine machine gunner, a Marine infantryman, my brother, a boss in the game, as well as now a boss in the film industry. Will Huang, welcome to the show, boss.
Hey, thanks a lot, Junior. It's good to see you again, brother.
That's what's up, man. Now, I want everyone to notice what we got going on here. I'm a Raiders fan living in Florida. He is a Raiders fan living in California. And we came on this episode to rep the Las Vegas Raiders, our favorite football team. Now, we are deep in the season. Things aren't looking as bright as they could or should, but we're loyal fans. And we stand by our Raiders with all the love in the world. So Raider Nation, salute.
Raider Nation.
All right. Now, Will, you are my brother, man. I've been through some hellified times with you around the world, man. Especially during our 3 tours to Iraq. Please start us off by talking about your military background.
Military background. Let's see now. Just like every other infantryman, go through boot camp, go through school infantry. Went through the MOS school. I was a 0351. Anti-armor assaults, bunker busting. And tank killing. We got schooled on the javelin, the small D, and field expedient demolitions. But when I got to the fleet, guess what? We were low on machine gunners at 3-4 Kilo Company. So I went off to division schools, became a machine gunner. That pissed me off a lot because I just got done learning one of the most complicated MOSs in the infantry. And now I got to learn a whole new one. But loved every minute of it. Deployed 3 times as a machine gunner. A couple times I was the CO's gunner. Other times I was with Kilo Mobile Strike Force. But you know as well as I do, man. We were on foot in Amtracs at first during the first invasion, 2003. Yeah. I remember you and your pig, the M249 gunner, when we had many pictures together. A lot of stories to tell there.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And I think we did even more slaying and everything out in Gate 2 Street or the Red Light District in Okinawa, but we'll leave that story for another time.
Hell yeah, man. Good times in Okinawa, Japan, man. You had me as a saw gunner carrying the M249, and you had Will carrying the M240 Gulf, the Pig, the big 7.62 automatic machine gun. And we were brothers in the Marines, and here we are 15 years later. And I want him to tell you why we're looking so good all these years later.
Oh, well, like I said before, black don't crack and Asians don't raise it, man. Looking this good.
Yeah. I never heard that one, man. I like that. Asians don't raise
it. Cocky ass cunts, man.
Right on, brother. Right on. All right, now, if you don't mind, let us all know, why did you choose the Marine Corps, boss?
Growing up, actually, I saw my first John Wayne movies, and then it just kind of compounded from there. At first, it's like, oh, Navy SEALs, this and that, blah blah blah, and then kind of reality set in where it's just like, okay, well, here's more information about the Marine Corps. My whole entire family line, military family, from Taiwan. I mean, hell, there's a lot of mixture there between ethnic background, between Chinese and Japanese, Filipino, all that mixed in to my blood. But being from a military lineage, everybody serves in Taiwan, or at least every able-bodied male serves in Taiwan. My sister served in the United States Army. I have uncles in the Navy, Air Force, Marines, during World War II, Vietnam, Korea. So it just became part of our bloodline. And so once I came of age, hey, ship me out. I was post 9/11, and that was the call to go. I mean, right after that happened, a month later, I was off to boot camp, and then after that, the rest, can get in the fleet, and served with you for 3 tours, and some good times, huh? I mean, we still have the picture in front of the statue of Saddam before it was taken down. So
hell yeah,
a lot of historical relevance there, and a lot of good memories, brother.
Right on, right on. Now, talk to us about, because it takes a special type of guy to want to be an infantryman, special type of guy to want to be a grunt. But then on top of that, it takes an even more special individual to want to be a machine gunner, an 0331 bona fide machine gunner. I know you said you started off initially on a different MOS, on the 0351 MOS, but talk to us about what it was like for you to actually be a machine gunner, and why you chose to be a machine gunner out of all the infantry jobs.
To be honest, I mean, when I went in the Marine Corps, I wanted to be you. I want to be 0330, 0311, just your standard grunt on the front lines. Apparently having a high GT score pushes you up to the next level. So it stuck me with being an assaultman, and I got pushed into being a machine gunner, which honestly, I love till this day. No regrets, and it's just like, it's an MOS that I love, I love that 240. I love that pig. It's reliable. Never jammed on me once in combat or in training. It's a lifesaver, and one of the biggest compliments I had in the Marines when serving on the line was from the rifle platoons. When they look up, like, oh, hey, when I look up and I see you on that turret, or if I see you like behind a berm and that 240's going off, I feel a lot better. I know I'm covered. And that just gave me the motivation and, the pride, just to push on and just have a lot of deep, just a thankfulness that I got to learn this job, I got to use it, and hopefully save some lives while I'm doing it.
Damn right, boss. And that's what you did, man. That's exactly what you did. Now,
I hope so.
I want to bring up the fact that you are the first Marine that I saw with my own eyes who had a kill bullet around his necklace, right? Now, if you don't mind, give us that story.
Well, this was during the invasion of Iraq. We just barely crossed the LOD from Kuwait. We're heading up north, and one of the first stop-offs we had was a small city, or a small little town. And we were taking fire from a group of buildings. Our Amtraks, of course, they herringbone. We bail out, and we start taking fire. Corporal Handshoe, my squad leader, told me, hey, open up and sweep that one building over there. Muzzle flashes were coming from. So I go ahead, open up, straight from left to right, right to left. The firing stopped, and upon a closer examination, when the fire teams went in and cleared, they said, all right, well, looks like you took out maybe 3 or 4 guys in there. We got we confiscated their weapons, their magazines, and I just took one of the bullets out of one of their magazines and kept it for myself, made it to a necklace. I figure, hey, that was one of my first confirmed kills. I'm going to take a souvenir. You know, I think it's a lot healthier than, you know, chopping off someone's ear, putting it in a necklace. You know, it's like, going on here. That's pretty nasty. You know, I ain't Mike Tyson and everything. I played with ears all around my neck and shit. So just so I wouldn't be sent to the psych ward afterwards for being like on my fucking mind. So every tour that I did after that, you know, my first initial kill, which wasn't that many of them, but then if it was a confirmed, then I would take the magazine out of whatever weapon systems they were carrying at the time. You know, I got a 30-06 from, I believe it was an M1 Grand that from Fallujah that was confiscated, and there was also a Dragunov round, a 7.62 by 54R that came out of a magazine of another combatant that fell during the firefights. So yeah, just a three bullet collection around my neck. It's right now, actually, it's just hanging on my car rearview mirror next to my dog tags.
Right on. Now, people don't like to sometimes hear us as veterans talk as open as we do and joke and have the dark humor that we do, but they know on Sergeant WarDawg TV, I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. We get down and we talk the way we talk and we live, bro, because we have lived as war veterans, man. Tell me,
kind of tradition, man.
Yeah,
Founded in our Tongue Tavern. Half of us, you know, half of the Marine Corps founded was like scallywags and pirates. You know, you needed people who knew how to freaking board ships and kill and slit throats and freaking fight from sea to shore, you know, but better people do it than, hey,
right,
assholes.
Now, when we crossed the border to Iraq, we were, I was 19. How old were you?
I was the same, actually. I say like 18 and a half, 19. I forget. I know we spent 3 spring breaks consecutively in Iraq, but so I was like 19. Yeah. Okay. Probably.
All right. Now, all these years later, 20 years later, right? 20 years later. hey, I know you said you may give it that look, right? But at the same time, we are lucky and blessed, and we were well trained, right? We were well trained in the Southern California Mojave Desert to be able to handle everything like that, man. But all these years later, bro, as you look back at it, how does it feel to say you were in a war on the front lines, in a war for the very first day and on the front lines? How does stuff like that hit you nowadays?
It's a little eerie, honestly. I remember this was like even 10 years ago. I was having dinner with some coworkers, and their son, he's going through elementary school, and he was doing some of his homework at the dinner table, and his book is reading about history, and no kidding, there was the Iraq War. And then he's like, oh, you know, he started asking me questions about it, and I started spouting off dates. He's like, oh, that's what my history book says. And I'm like, oh, I like that.
Right on.
Yeah. It's just kind of weird that, you know, we lived through that when everybody else was off in college, partying, doing what they do. And then, you know, we spent the prime of our life, you know, in the dirt and sandbox.
Yes.
Yes. It's a very proud feeling. It's a very humble feeling. One thing that you take from combat is very, very humbling. Being in this industry that I'm in now, the movie industry, me and some other veterans that are in the infantry have the same, where it's like, oh, I probably served with maybe 5 to 10 special forces operatives or Navy SEALs when we were over there for 3 tours. And so far in the movie industry, I've met all 3,000 of them because everybody has that on their resume. You know, right. Stolen valor is not just civilians pretending something that they're not, putting on a uniform. It goes the same for the military. Just because you weren't infantry or just because you didn't sign up to do a job, don't say that you did. You know.
Thank you, man. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Right there.
Exactly.
Say less, man. That's right on the money. That's what I'm talking about. If they didn't do it. Yeah. if they didn't do it, don't own up to it and cop to it and say. That's why I hear some of the craziest stories on confirmed kill numbers and shit like that. Got dudes telling me, hey, calling me, hey, jarhead, I got 19. How many did you get? Real bosses like us, we don't even need to, don't even need to pay attention to bullshit like that.
I was too busy watching it. We were too busy watching those back, not keeping count.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
It's like, why doesn't the Marine Corps have a football team? Well, we're too busy defending the country, not quarterback.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, I want to ask you, because your body has been through everything my body's been through, if not worse. Talk a little bit about, because you're the only one I can really get. You're the only one that's real to me, Will. You're the only one that I can, no shit, sit down and talk like a man, like a Marine to, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that the rest of the world can see that and can experience this. But do you find with some of the injuries that we now have 20 years later, and I'll admit, there's sometimes I'll see other people my age working out and everything, and I'll be like, damn, I could if I could, but I sacrificed so much at a younger age with my body that there's a lot of things that, are different for us now as war veterans. Can you speak on that a little bit, on what it's like for you?
It's getting tougher and tougher as you get older. Like, I just turned 41 in August, and my joints hurt when I wake up. I stretch, I hear every part of my body just crack. I don't know if you knew this, but I was diagnosed with exercise-induced asthma when I EAS'd out of the Marines. They wouldn't let me back into infantry if I was on the list. So my congestion has been worse and worse with allergies. It's bad. I can't go on, I can go on hikes, I can go on runs, but I just can't go on hikes and runs with a full kit and a 90-pound pack on my back. That's going to cause me to seize up, my lungs to seize up right there. And plus, I think I just got lazy. I just got fucking lazy, My fiance wants me to go on hikes all the time, and God bless her and everything, but I don't want to do that shit anymore. Honestly, all my whole entire body hurts. I don't even play volleyball anymore, man. And I used to love doing that, but I can't move the way I do. I'm not saying that everything's a struggle, but I'm surely, we're not in our 20s anymore. I can't even drink like I used to anymore.
Right. That's part of the game. But check it out though, right? We are still alive. We did make it through the war to be at this age where we can bitch and complain about things like that, like we do. Yep. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, every once in a while, we gotta, open our eyes and acknowledge, it's weird to me to be growing up as war veterans. To me, Will, it is. It's like stuff we saw in war movies growing up, whether it was older men and grandpas, or younger men living and going through it. We are experiencing and have experienced both sides of everything people see in the movies. I mean, we've been there as the young teenagers that are trained better than your local SWAT team. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we were lucky enough to survive. We were blessed enough to survive, and we were well trained enough to survive 3 tours, man. And I don't know, it just it seems a little
it's a lot
surreal to me.
It's a lot to reflect on, definitely. We experienced more in 4 years than most people do in 2 lifetimes. And that's not saying that we're better than everybody else. It's just that we chose a different path. The fact that we survived that path gives us a lot to be thankful for. You recognize some of the things out there, like I said, bringing back to what we talked about them before. It's humbling. A lot I see, this past Marine Corps birthday, I saw a lot of young bucks from the post near in Pasadena over here. And, they're wilding out, doing this and that, and they're bragging about all these stories, which I'm kind of questioning too, because something's not making sense. When someone talks to you and tells you, oh, they were in the infantry, they served in combat, but they're not using the right words. Some things about it's not right, and then you're just like, I know this guy's shit. You know, when me and you, we don't go out there and start bragging about like, oh, how many confirmed kills we got and this and that. You know, how much action we saw. I say something when my friends ask, and I have a lot of friends who are curious about it because they didn't experience it, and they open up and they listen. You know, we're not warmongers going out there. We're just warriors. You know, we're expected to do bad things, but you know, for our cause, whatever you sign on for, protect your country, protect your loved ones. You know, for me, I mean, it got to the fact where you grew up as a Marine, where it's like, oh, when I'm out there on the front lines, I'm over here watching the left and the right, making sure my brothers and sisters get back home safe. You know, freaking a kill count, that's a shitty number to remember. You know, the number I remember is how many lives I couldn't save when I wasn't fast enough and one of our guys fell. That's the number that counts. That's the number you have to remember. It's life-changing. And just reflecting back on everything you did, take all these life lessons and you apply it, even though in this day and age, it still never surprises me how careless people are out here in this world. You know, how just, you know, how far apart they are, and then they just don't get it. You know, there's so much privilege, you know, and there's so much I want to do the least amount of work for the most amount of recognition and money. You know, and it all adds up. You just try to keep a straight head, try to influence as many people as you can about it without seeming like a jackass, because there's always someone who's like, oh, well, yeah, you just sound like you're telling me that you're better than me, or you're trying to mansplain it to me, or this and that. Sorry for using that term, but you know, you get that a lot. I'm like, oh no, I'm not telling you how to live. I'm just telling you my experiences and, you know, how I live. I don't speak for the Marine Corps. I don't speak for other Marines. I speak for myself as a veteran, and I speak from my own experiences. Other Marines have different experiences. There's no shame in that.
All right. Now, we're going to move on next to you being in the film industry. But before I get to that, there's one more little tidbit I want to discuss with you, because I can't discuss it with anybody else that would understand. All right?
Go ahead, shoot.
Talk about what it's like to have to hold yourself back every moment of every day from fucking people up that threaten you or piss you off or start talking shit about what they're going to do to you. As a trained, and not just trained, man, because everybody can say, yeah, I was trained this, I trained there. We weren't just trained. We went and did the shit. And then came back and then ran it back again. And then came back and ran it back another year. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk about how sometimes you might have to restrain yourself with people not knowing that they are truly walking around with certified motherfucking paid legal killers, right? Who done their job in war, because that's what war requires, right?
Absolutely.
But talk about what it's like to hold back, to have to be responsible. If you don't want to go to prison for life, if you don't want to have murder on your record, and we know, I can bring this out with you, we know we have Marines that we serve with who were involved with murders, right?
Yeah.
We have Marines we serve with who committed suicide, right? Yeah. Hell, we had some happen with us while training.
Yeah.
A suicide. So if you don't mind, just talk about what it's like to hold back from whooping ass on these motherfuckers, please.
Every day, like the road rage. If you live in Southern California, you know what's bad down here. Even driving from point A to point B, someone could just set you off. Now it's not like when they set me off, yeah, I'm cursing like a sailor, you know, I am fucking just like honking maybe, but I'm never gonna like pull my gun and shoot anybody or just like, you know, run them off the road. But to hold back, it requires like that amount of discipline where it's just like, it's not only that you don't want to go to jail. It's not only that, you know, you don't want to have to put up with the consequences of you taking someone's life out here or just fucking somebody up. You know, it's the fact that there's like you said, 4 years, 3 deployments, back and forth, telling them to switch on, go get some. And then when you get out of the Marines, they give you 2 weeks of a transition course to reprogram you back into a civilian, apparently. That doesn't work. Obviously 2 weeks tell me not to kill when for the past 4 years, all I did was freaking go over there and annihilate fucking towns. I mean, no, that doesn't work like that. And for me, the restraint is that I don't want people knowing what I'm capable of. That's my secret. I'm not the type to go out there and say like, hey, fuck around and find out. No, the less you know about me, the better. So when restraining myself in any kind of situation, whether it's, on-set work or out grocery shopping, or you're at the bar and someone's hitting on your woman, you always go way out.
Ooh, good example, bro, because that's a certified time for an ass whooping. Exactly. Good example.
Especially when someone goes up and puts hands on your woman, then you're just like, okay, I want to break this guy's arm in 3 places and then dislocate his jaw. I can do that easily, but I'm not going to. The best fight right now, like we spent 4 years of our lives, well, me and you spent 4 years of our lives together going through hell, seeing what mankind can do to each other, the worst that mankind can do to each other. If I could live the rest of my life in peace, I will.
Damn right.
It's I don't meditate. I don't do anything. It just keeps in the back of my mind where it's like I want to avoid conflict. Sometimes the best fight is the fight that's not fought. Does that make you chicken shit coward? No. It means you just spared someone's life. Even though that person might be a total asshole, probably deserves to die. No, just let someone else do it. Let someone else do the dirty work for you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it takes a lot of focus and a lot of restraint sometimes. Because, there's always that one day where you just like, I'm not saying you snap, but you're having the bad day, the worst day of your life, and then someone just goes there and pisses you off, that it pushes you to an edge where it's like, oh my God, I'm about to give this guy a pounding, I'm about to break his neck or this and that. Those are just the things you have to keep in check and watch out for as an individual. And if you have brothers to reach out to, me and you, you're over there in Florida, I'm here in LA, we can still reach out to each other. Technology is a motherfucker nowadays. I can reach out, touch anybody I want from my old unit. That's on social media, at least. Hopefully, and if they're out there, hey, anytime you guys need to talk, reach out to me. You have my information. You know how to contact me. I'm here for you. We all get those times where we're pushed to the limit, and the thing is to know where that limit is, and to pull yourself back. We already lost enough brothers and sisters overseas. I think I'm not keeping too much count, but I think we've lost more brothers and sisters after we came home than when we were over there fighting a goddamn war due to suicide, due to freaking prescription medication that has these crazy like side effects, through violent actions, like just snapping, getting yourself into a situation and everything where you get endanger yourself and the people around you. You just gotta remember to dial it back a little bit. Whatever works for you.
Right on, bro. Right on. I'm gonna just spit one last thing because I got to get it off my chest.
Okay.
Because I know such a tough, skilled, intelligent, and bona fide fucking killer as you, it makes it hard for me to be around men who are less than that. I mean, it makes it hard for me to deal with times when I know other men that I'm around are pussy. I got to look at them and know, like, could you handle this? Could you handle being dirty? I mean, look at it, Will. I'm from the city of Orlando. You're from the city of LA. Yet we were taught to survive, bro.
Yeah.
In the desert, in the jungle, in the woods, it doesn't matter. We can handle that shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So when I see certain people bragging about how tough they are, or how they have this or have that, or after being around true people like you, man, and being around a couple hundred of them at a time, and always knowing I'm surrounded by nothing but certified bosses, man, it made it very hard for me to adjust to being around pussy motherfuckers, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
I had to put that out there. I got so many times I want to pull people's cards. I want to tell them that I know that they aren't what they say they are. I know that they won't go as far as they think they will. And I know that they
Yeah.
don't know that we've already been there. We've already done the whole, oh, let me get mad and fight. Let me get mad and shoot. We've already been there and done that and, you know, beyond, bro. But they don't realize, like I said, what we are capable of if we wanted to be.
Exactly. Keep that humble mentality, you know? It's like cowards preach the loudest, you know? The rest of us, you know, we just want to kind of blend in and just live our lives.
Move in silence, baby.
Exactly.
That's what's up.
I don't need to hear about all the badass things someone else did. I mean, hell, like you said, me and you, we've already were witness to each other's experiences overseas.
Right on. Right
and
on.
in training.
It helps me to know, man. I sit there sometimes and I'll be like, man, did this really happen? Was that really in my life? Did I really do that? But then when I get a chance to see men like you that I know I was there with, you bring it all back. Like, you know what? At least he knows I was real.
Yeah.
Somebody else does know that I was real.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's like for most war veterans when they get together from all branches, or not just war veterans period. When they get together, when we get together, we know we are seeing bona fide and certified veterans and brothers and sisters that were just like us and put in work. And that's what it, you know, I'm sorry, I just had to go into how dope it is to be able to take this full circle, man, 20 years later and still be able to come over here and chop it up with you like this.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
But now, without further ado, I really want you to talk about what you learned in the Marines that prepared you for the film industry. And then go ahead and talk about, you know, your career in the film industry and what that's all about.
Oh, well, the Marines prepared me. What I learned in the Marines prepared me for life in general. You know, you work in the Marine Corps, especially in the infantry, I'm pretty sure you could work in any conditions outside what the private sector has to offer. They prepared me with the discipline, you know, to be there on time, accomplish the tasks efficiently, and move on. Communication is key in anything that you do in life, you know, whether it's your relationships or whether it's at work. Oh, my battery is low. Hold on real quick.
All right.
Oh, I got it. All right. Sorry about that. My dumbass.
It's all good.
Being in the industry, it's what prepared me for being what I use from my days in the Marines that I do now as an armorer in the motion picture industry is safety. Safety is key. It's paramount. You know, nobody needs to die. Even we could be filming the biggest war scene ever, you know, and nobody's going to die. Nobody has to die. So, but safety, that is freaking key. And me being fapped out and doing the pistol qual towards the end of my enlistment, I mean, that kind of helped too. Dealing with people, it's a little different though. Being in the industry, you can't go drill instructor on an actor or cast or crew members as an armor. The day you do will be your last day of work, I guarantee you, and nobody else is going to hire you. You know, you have to go up there and tactfully be like, oh, hey, can you keep your finger off the trigger? Can you watch your muzzle, please? This and that. You know, the gun may be cleared, which it's always cleared before handing it off to an actor, if the scene calls for it to be dry. But you always want to factor good discipline, good firearms discipline. It's good training because a lot of people that we are teaching this to play the main character of a SWAT team, a Navy SEAL team, you know, this and that. So it does show on camera that this person is trained well because boom, he's oriented his muzzle in safe direction, his fingers off the trigger, his weapons on safe, stuff like that. On separate, we do run boot camps every night for like the big features. So a actor will take a week, maybe 2 weeks, and go learn the skills required of his character. Like you say, the movie Hunted with Benicio del Toro and Tommy Lee Jones. I mean, they actually went through a boot camp of survival school. I believe they actually had SEER instructors teach them how to track and how to fabricate their own edge weapons. You know, that's a perfect example of that. Firearms. Well, now that movie wasn't about firearms, but then other stuff like other movies like Black Hawk Down and these big war movies. Yeah, of course, there's training that's involved. And you don't have background actors, come up and you're handing them blank firing weapons. No, it's purely stunts, and stunts is mainly. I've seen martial artists, a lot of veterans, not just from the military, but from law enforcement. So they already have that discipline. They're very easy to teach, and I have confidence in them that they'll absorb what I'm telling them. And boom, everything's safe, everything is shot correctly, and nobody gets hurt. Basically, my role in the movie industry as an armorer, make sure nobody gets hurt. And bread and butter, accountability. Guns are accounted for. Nobody's walking off the set with an Uzi or fucking a magazine, even though it's full of blanks. High capacity magazines, they're restricted here in California. I think everything is restricted here in California. But
for good.
Right? So it's just like, it's number crunching. At the same time, though, it's situational awareness at all times. Almost like, back then, Gunny Corville, back when he was gunnery sergeant, he's like all combat mindset, situational awareness at all times. Boom, you instill that in your living, and you'll do well whatever industry you're in. I'm on set or I'm in the shop. That's still the same for me.
I got a lot of love for that guy.
I know, me too.
He taught me what it meant to be a real Marine, dog. I can't even lie to you.
I was out there in Louisiana filming a pilot. I think last year or a year and a half ago, and then I hit him up. Sergeant Major Corville, retired now. He hit me up. He's like, "Oh, hey, you here?" He met me up, took me to a nice little oyster shack. Shucking and jiving for a good afternoon, and it was good catching up with him too.
Nice. That's what it's all about, man.
Call what you want. A lot of people butted heads with him, but then he is the poster child for the Marine. He's discipline, he's strength, he's courage. I mean, hell, he's the person you look up to make sure things run right, to keep your ass alive. Give him shit or not. Love, hate to love him, love to hate him, whatever you want. I love the guy.
Beans, bullets, and bandages. Damn right.
Exactly.
Damn right. Now, so as I understand it, in your armorer capacity, you don't ever get a chance to actually show or teach anyone any of the tactics that you learned in the Corps? You never get a chance to show and teach anything?
That is purely stunts. We try not to step on each other's toes, so your job. My job isn't to teach those tactics. That's for your tech advisor. Okay. And everybody has a tech advisor. If it's, an LAPD film, you're going to have an LAPD retired guy there. He's like, oh, okay, well, back in the 90s, we didn't have this gear. This is here, this is the type of weapon we use, and this is how we're, let's say, immediate action. This is how we're taught to clear a jam. So you will have someone there, not me. If I'm there, the production doesn't have a tech advisor, then yeah, I'll jump in. I'm like, oh, all right, well, you're clearing a room here, so this is how you want to stack up, But situation dictates, so you get a nice little view of the floor plan and see what's going on, and then you'll tell them, oh, this is how I would clear the room. Now, nowadays, I can't really do so much because, let's say a movie takes place in 2022. Okay, the way I was trained was from our squad leaders and Staff Sergeant Pogue. Remember him?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was different. It was a different way we hold the gun. Different way we clear a room, we breach. Now they're doing this breach all the way down here. I haven't tried that honestly.
Thank you for saying that, man. There are so many things. There are so many things that I see happen in the 2.8 gun industry now, and just like you said it, the reaching and holding and like that, and I guess that does make us old if that's the way we did it. Because
I mean, Sergeant Garcia.
On this.
I don't know if you remember Sergeant Garcia. He's with.
Of course, I do.
Yeah, he's with the Chicago SWAT. And then he actually learned, and he has a lot of good things to say about it. But it's just not something that I learned. So when I'm on set training, it's like, all right, what time period is it? Okay, cool. Well, this is how we did it back then.
Are you serious? Garcia's Chicago SWAT?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to get him on the show. Holy
absolutely. Well, Richardson, right? Did you get Richardson on?
No. No,
Oh,
I know he's doing his Edge of Darkness business, or I thought he retired.
oh yeah, he retired, but being a sheriff, being on the SWAT team for the sheriffs, still pretty shit hot though, man. He's
Hey,
making
what
great
was
knives.
he doing at that? Was he L.A. or Orange County?
I think it was Orange County SWAT.
Orange County SWAT. All right, you just gave me two. You just gave me two to hit up, man, and I really appreciate that. You just gave me two to hit up.
Yeah, tell him to stop having any more kids, dude. Come on.
Right on, right on. Now, just to finish this off, what can we expect from you in the future, bro? What you got in the works?
Well, let's see now. Well, because of the actors' strike and the writers' strike, it's been a good almost 4 months to half a year since I've been working. I just kind of been playing the house husband. But now that things are wrapping up and all the deals have been signed, I'm actually hopping on the SEAL team for their final season, their season finale, or the series
Okay.
actually. From there, I don't know. I just kind of been hopping around from one set to another the past 17 years as an armorer. I think I've done my most long-term one was on a comedy with Will Ferrell, and there was like guns for like one scene, and that was at the end of the series. But other than that, I mean, movies and TV. They're always going to be up. Someone's always getting shot somewhere. So hopefully that means I have a job.
Right on, bro. Right on. I feel you.
Look like badasses, make people look like badasses, and hopefully keep them safe at the same time.
I feel you, man. That's what's up, bro. Well, hey, man, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I really, really, really enjoyed this talk, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come chop it up with me on the WarDawg Trail podcast.
Yeah. My pleasure, dude.
Yeah, I can't put words to it, bro. Thank you.
Seriously, no, thank you for reaching out, and thank you for doing this too, man. It feels good to talk to you again, honestly. There's not many people around here that I can reach out to as well. I know Mendez is out here and Richardson's out here, and but just haven't had a chance to reach out to them. Maybe I should.
Right on, bro. Right on. Again, man, I can't thank you enough, but I really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Willy Huang on the WarDawg Trail podcast, episode 66. Thanks again, brother. Take care. God bless and salute.
You too, brother.
All right, homie. My dog. All right. Let's go over a few closing announcements. I have been named as a media member for the SHOT Show. All right, I did receive media credentials recently for the SHOT Show that's going to be held in Vegas in January of 2024. So I will be on the showroom floor. I will be conducting interviews and showing off the latest and hottest new guns, archery equipment, and everything else you can think of in the outdoors. If you happen to be an exhibitor at the SHOT Show, I am the media approved media for the SHOT Show. But in order to attend the industry range day, I need an invitation. All right. So if you are an outdoors company that has an exhibit at the industry day at the range, please notify or invite Sergeant WarDawg TV. We would love to put your products on the news, on our show, on our podcast, and get your products seen on our show. All right. Finally, remember to head over to my website for anything, sergeantwardawgtv.com, or our Facebook channels, YouTube channel, or find our most up-to-date information on the Instagram page, Sergeant WarDawg TV. All right, this has been the WarDawg Trail, episode 66. Salute.